Welcome to the Daily Record Spin. I'm your host, Jimmy Clements. Joining me today, as always, is my little brother, Danny Okey. Danny, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a nice day. How about you?
I am Gucci. We're doing one more pod. Yeah. Baby is still loading. She's
buffering.
Seemingly pretty happy to just be in the womb and not really wanting to actually come down to earth. So
does Sarah agree with that sentiment? Is she also happy about it?
About how long it's taking, or? No, she's very ready for this to be over.
I assumed.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily happy that it's taking forever. I just like acknowledging the reality of the situation at this point.
Yeah, right.
So,
poor thing.
It's okay.
Poor thing.
Anyway.
She'll come when she's good and ready.
Yes, she will. We are here today to talk Hilary Duff. This is going to be a whole Hilary Duff podcast. We're going to do a deep dive into her new album, Luck or Something. And we're also going to talk about just our relationship with Hilary Duff as an artist, our shared love for her. We're going to get introspective about our childhood and the things that shaped us today. So we're pretty excited about all that. That being said, Danny has a lot to unload about, a lot of new projects that he's been listening to and old. So I'm going to just turn the podcast over to Danny for a little bit for Danny's Music Corner. Take it away, buddy.
Welcome to Danny's Music Corner. So I think I mentioned this in one of our early pods this year, but my goal this year, I have a couple goals, but one of my goals this year was to listen to somewhere around 120 albums. That's like my big goal. So that rounds out to about 10 a month. And right now I'm at 23. So I'm actually ahead of schedule, which is good. And I'm having just so much fun listening to a crap ton of music. I actually like having a number in mind that I'm trying to achieve because it almost gamifies it for me. Like anytime I'm like, I don't know what to listen to, I'm like, let me throw something on that I haven't heard before. So it also helps that I have an ongoing list of things from the past that I've missed, like classic pop albums that I just haven't really gotten around to. So it's really easy to just pull from that. So all that being said, I have been listening to a crap ton of music over the past couple of weeks, and I want to talk about a few things. The first one being the Wuthering Heights soundtrack album by Charlie XCX that I think is outstanding. I think it's really, really, really good. I listened to it first at the gym and I was super lukewarm on it. I was like, I feel like I need a couple more listens. Like it's just not kind of doing what I thought it was going to be doing. I realized that the gym was just a bad setting for that album because it's really much more introspective, mid-tempo, gothic in nature, which, I guess makes sense for the subject matter. But the more I just let myself listen to it with a good pair of headphones at home, I am truly living for it. It's probably my contender right now for album of the year. Obviously too early to say such a bold claim.
Okay, cool.
But I just really love the soundscape she's working with here. It's kind of dream poppy. Like I said, it's kind of Baroque, like gothic, like very dark, moody stuff. I think my one complaint is I think she could have gone even weirder. I think sonically it's actually safer than I thought it was going to be. It sounds more like a Charlie XCX album than I thought it was going to sound like. But it is the polar opposite of Brat. If you are into Brat, you might not be into this. And if you're not into Brat, you might be into this. I happen to be into both. I like both of them quite a bit, but I know how you felt about Brat. So I actually think you would like this better.
Okay, cool.
To be fair.
I have heard it is pretty much the score of the movie. So
is it? Okay.
Yeah. I've been waiting to listen until I saw the film. We'll see if that actually happens now. If I don't get to see the film, then I will just listen to the album at some point. But it's a cool project for sure.
I think it's like an 11 track album, and I could probably name like 9 standout tracks from it. Wow. That I just like really want to go back to all the time.
Whoa.
So I'm really high on it. I think most people really like it. I think I'm higher on it than the general public. Like, I think it's like really, really excellent. We'll see how it ages with me, but I'm loving it right now.
Okay, cool.
The other album I'm really living for, and you have to get into it if you have not heard of this person, because I hadn't heard of this person until like 2 weeks ago when the album came out. And this is Hemlock Springs with her new album, The Apple Tree Under the Sea. It's actually right behind me. That's the record right there.
Oh, pretty.
And Hemlock Springs is a newer-ish artist. I think she's been around actually for a few years. She released a pretty critically acclaimed EP in 2023 that I have not listened to. Like I said, I just found out about this person because somebody was posting about her on Twitter. But she's like an alt indie pop artist. But this is a really tight 10-track album with like 2 interludes. So it's like really short. It's like a 33-minute album, I think. And it is top to bottom pop excellence. Like,
wow.
She is serving up vocals. She's serving up production. She produced this along with one collaborator, like the entire record. It is some of the most exciting and invigorating pop music I've heard in quite a while. It's really different. Structure wise, the songs are really weird. Like, it's kind of hard to find verse chorus when the first couple times you hear it, which always excites me. I like when my expectations are defied and it, something new comes up that I haven't really heard before. I was having a conversation with my husband Hunter last week about how the journey I'm on to kind of become a pop music scholar and go back to a lot of like some of the main influences from, the 80s and 90s and early 2000s has actually kind of made my listening harder to current stuff, because I sometimes can only hear the influences new artists are trying to mimic rather than like their own identity as an artist. I listen to an EP and I'm like, okay, you're trying to do Robin. I listen to another one. I'm like, okay, you're trying to do Janet, Madonna, whatever it is. Like, these are clearly your influences, Kate Bush, whatever it may be. And right after I had that conversation with Hunter, this Hemlock Springs album came out where I was like, I can hear the influences, but this is a Hemlock Springs record. Like, this is truly a unique identity, something that the other new pop girlies are just not doing. So cannot recommend this album enough. It is so excellent. Huge fan. I also think your wife actually set up in my DMs. It sounds like she opened for Chapel when she saw Chapel.
Oh,
so
yes,
I think
yes. Okay, I was like, I know this name. Why do I know it? Okay, yes, that is true. So I'm still so sad I couldn't go to that show. I was injured. Yeah, too bad, and couldn't make it happen.
I know. But. Yeah. I think a good entry point is the first full length track on the album, which is called The Beginning of the End.
Okay.
Highly recommend. The whole album is like weirdly like medieval. It's got a lot of like Ren Fair kind of vibes to it. Yeah. And the lyrics are like super complex and heady. Like, I am still trying to absorb what's going on. She's excellent lyricist. But a lot of it is rooted in like kind of medieval times and religion and Genesis kind of stuff. So it's very cool. Highly recommend. Some albums from the past that I have gotten really into. I, for the first time, listened to what many people consider to be a pop staple, which is The Velvet Rope by Janet Jackson. Man, it is so excellent. If you have not heard The Velvet Rope by Janet Jackson, you got to go do it. Janet Jackson is probably my biggest pop blind spot. I know that she is hugely influential and many like elder millennials worship the ground that this woman walks on. I just have never really gotten into her music, and I'm definitely going to go do a deep dive now of her discography because The Velvet Rope is genius. It sounds so current. Like, I cannot believe that it was not made today. It's like crazy how much it defies time. Body Talk by Robin. Robin is another blind spot of mine. I'm familiar with some of her stuff here and there. I love her new singles that she's come out with this year, but Body Talk is her 2010 album that features Dancing on My Own. Huge. Everybody knows that song. The album as a whole is fantastic. It's just like pop ear candy. So good. Someone I really love is Adele, who was featured in Popstar Academy, which is the making of Cat's Eye. And Adele, spoiler alert, is not in Cat's Eye. She didn't make it into the group, but she released an EP last year called The Provocateur. And I had heard a couple songs from it before, but I listened to the full project this week, and man, is it good. It's like very hyper pop, kind kind of vibe. So it's like really noisy and very loud and in your face. So if that's not your jam, don't go to that. But she has it. Whatever it is, she has it. And then the last one I want to talk about that I really loved is a 2013 album by Sky Ferreira, who is a really well-known in like the indie pop, alt pop space, kind of in the same conversation as like Charlie XCX's early career. They have a lot of the same collaborators, and they themselves have collaborated a lot. I checked this out because she was just featured on the Wuthering Heights album. And I was like, this album pops up on my Instagram like every 2 months. People talk about it's called Nighttime My Time, and I've never listened to it. And holy shit, it is so fantastic. I actually think, Jim, you would love this record.
Okay.
It's like, I described it on Instagram as if Avril Lavigne, Charlie XCX, and Haim all had a baby together, and she released like a full album of like grungy pop bangers. It's really good.
I'm interested.
Lots of influence of grunge in there. It's very organic, instrumental, and Haim's long-term collaborator from most of their career, other than their last album, is like one of the primary producers on it. So it does have a it's very Haim tinged, but it's a little bit grittier than Haim. So love that. Highly recommend. That's one of my favorites I've listened to all year. So I think that about covers it for Danny's Music Corner. Sorry, that went a little long.
This has been Danny's Music Corner. We hope everyone enjoyed this new segment that we just thought of in the moment right now. Mostly because I've been shirking my duties as a music listener and I have nothing to add to this conversation. So I think this is where we pivot to talking about Hilary Duff a little bit.
I think so. It's Hilary Duff time, baby.
So here's some context for us. We are both, I'm a very young millennial. Danny's a cusper, I think, officially. Are you like in Gen Z? I don't know.
No, the most recent, I think it's finally locked in that 96 is technically the last year of millennial. So I think I am technically by definition a millennial.
I think this is true.
Cusp. Yeah.
Okay. So obviously Hilary Duff was a huge influence on us. I mean, Lizzie McGuire, obviously on Disney Channel, a huge show. The Lizzie McGuire movie, probably even more formative for us. And then, of course, her pop career, maybe the most of all, in terms of her influence on our lives. So why don't we just kind of go back to the beginning and talk about, you see what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Talk about what was your first memory of like being introduced to Hilary Duff?
Lizzie McGuire.
Okay,
Lizzie
same here.
McGuire. So I think by the time I was watching the Disney Channel, I think it was mostly reruns of Lizzie McGuire.
Yes.
I think the show actually ended before I started watching it, but that was I think that was my most formative Disney Channel show as a kid. That and Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I think those were the two that I really latched onto.
And I was more Even Stevens into Lizzie. That was like my entry point.
That makes sense. So yeah, that was my first entry point into Hilary. And then obviously, what came first, Metamorphosis or Lizzie McGuire movie?
Well, they came out the same year, I believe.
It was the same year. Okay.
I don't fully recall. I think Metamorphosis dropped first, but I'm actually not sure.
I'm not sure about it either. So whichever of those came first, obviously was like the big, like that's where the obsession really started.
Yeah. We used to play records going to bed at night, and this was like a huge, both Metamorphosis and the Lizzie McGuire movie soundtrack were just on heavy repeat in our nighttime listening. And
I just like, I want to set the scene for the listeners. We shared a bedroom like our entire lives. And at this time we were living in bumfuck Nebraska, where there was nothing to do. Yep. And we lived in a ranch style house with a basement, and we were in like the back corner basement bedroom. So there was like no natural light. And we had a literal boombox CD player. We would put in Metamorphosis and we would go to bed, and Jimmy he would insist upon turning on this goddamn disco ball like strobe light thing to light up the bedroom at night, and I hated that thing so badly. But one thing about our childhood is whatever Jim wanted, Jim got.
Okay.
So that is so true, and you don't even try to deny it. So I brought this up so many times to our mom. I'm like, I hate this fuck ass disco ball. Please, can we get rid of this thing? I just want darkness. And never happened. I had to deal with it. I had to learn how to deal with it. There
was a brief period where you moved into the guest room as like kind of your own room, but then I ended up following you into the guest room.
Oh my god!
So then we were still sharing a room together. It was a very complicated time.
Yeah, it sure was. How dare you? First of all,
I am sorry about that.
Thank you.
I also do want to mention that like at this point in our lives, it was Christian music 24/7, and so Disney Channel music was like the only other thing we were allowed to listen to, and therefore it was like our formative music experience because
it's
most of what we're listening to is schlock. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't really know what pop music was. I didn't know what other genres were outside of like show tunes and Christian, like
show tunes was allowed to. Yeah.
So yeah, Disney Channel really introduced a lot of my formative years of pop music and what that could look like. So I think the most formative albums for me growing up that led me to where I am now is Metamorphosis and then Jesse McCartney's Beautiful Soul.
Oh yeah,
I think those were the two for me. So yeah, this was big. And like for people who weren't around during that time, like Hilary Duff was truly the it girl.
Oh,
like she was the original Disney it girl. Like she is the blueprint for Miley, for Selena, Demi, Sabrina. All of those people would not have the careers they have if it was not for Hilary Duff trailblazing at the time.
100%. Yeah. She was that first one to like, be on a successful show, put out pop albums, put out, singles first and then albums, and then be in movies. And I mean, she was doing it all. She definitely is like the model that Disney followed after that for all of their other stars.
I think the reason that Disney still requires like all of their actors to like do record deals is because it worked so well with Hilary Duff. Like,
it did, yeah.
She really is the blueprint. And she wasn't even just doing Disney. I mean, she was in every like teen coming of age movie at the time.
Yeah, Raise Your Voice.
Banger. Yeah, Raise Your Voice. Kind of classic Cinderella story.
Cinderella story is so good.
So good. I feel like I'm missing a really big one, but I can't think of it right now. It was literally like her and Lindsay Lohan. Like I feel like those two.
Yeah, at the same time.
Were the it girls. And they actually feuded, I think, if I remember correctly.
They were beefing, I remember. Well, and also Lindsay Lohan got her start with Parent Trap, also a Disney film, not a TV series, but Disney was really good at manufacturing star power at that point in time.
Yeah,
and
they really were.
Mostly because they just hit on crazy performers, and so they just
they were batting 1,000 in the early 2000s. Like, I mean, it started with the Mickey Mouse Club, which produced
Mickey Mouse
Britney
Club,
Spears, Justin Timberlake, and Christina Aguilera.
Ryan Gosling
and
as well.
Ryan Gosling. Crazy. Yeah. I mean, just fucking crazy.
And then follow that up. Even Stevens produced Shia LaBeouf, who I know is like in the news for all the wrong reasons right now. But
he was huge.
He was huge. He was in the freaking Indiana Jones movie. I mean, like you can't get any bigger than that. So
he was everywhere.
It's it's pretty crazy.
They knew what they were doing at that time. They really knew what they were doing at that time. So needless to say, we were obsessed with Hilary Duff.
Yeah.
And that leads us to kind of the later part of her music career. Obviously, after Metamorphosis was the self-titled album, I think.
Yes.
Which I'm pretty sure we also had that CD because I listened to Fly the other day and I got tired. So that tells me we listened to that before bed too.
Yeah, that was on rotation as well.
I'm conditioned to fall asleep to this music.
No. We definitely listened to self-titled. Yeah. Not nearly as good as Metamorphosis, which we'll get into in a second, but I think it's a really close to perfect album. The follow-up, not a very good album, but it has some standout tracks, including Fly, which is just sensational.
It's excellent. Yeah. And then after that is where I kind of dropped off, I would say.
Yes.
I didn't really listen to the subsequent albums.
Me neither.
Obviously, With Love, I know now because of the internet meme where she performed at like Good Morning America. You've seen that, right?
I don't know that I have.
Her dancing like Go Girl Give Us Nothing like early in the morning at Good Morning America.
I don't remember this.
Come on. You have to have seen this. You just
I probably have. I don't remember.
This is why the algorithm is so awful, is because like I feel like this is the most popular video in the world because I've seen it so many times. But I also need to remember that I'm on gay guy Twitter, so that makes sense why that would be. You know,
what
so
is
I know
with
that
the
now
gay man
because of that
culture of like making fun of celebrities having terrible moments on stage? This is a long history.
I think it's just like iconic. Do you know what I mean? Like when an artist has like a really memeable, funny moment, but the thing is they have to be a likable artist. Like gay men literally die for Hilary Duff. Like gay men are obsessed with Hilary Duff, and she is obsessed with us as well. So, which there's a funny quip I have about that later. Remind me. But I think it's like they have to be an endearing artist and some sort of a queer icon for their bad performance to be like memeable and funny rather than just like get the scroll off my screen.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. It's kind of reverential, you know, like
it is.
There's a reverence to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Yeah.
And I guess that leads me to the main thing that I want to talk about today with Hilary Duff, which is that I think for all intents and purposes, like I've been re-listening to her music. I rewatched the Lizzie McGuire movie the other night. We rewatched a Cinderella story last night.
Wow.
And I'm just in a Hilary mood. I just love this woman. I don't think this woman is particularly talented. And I've never thought that she is like an incredible actress, an incredible singer, an incredible songwriter. But I am so endeared to her.
Yes.
Literally, like there is something about her that is ineffable where I just like I would die for her. Mm-hmm. And I'm just so happy for her every step of the way, no matter what she is doing. And she's so iconic to me that I overlook some of the like really cringy acting performances and some of the really cringy lyrics because I just like, that's just like part of who she is. That's part of her brand.
Charm. Yeah.
It's the charm. She is so unbelievably charming. And I really can't figure out a contemporary that she has that has that effect on me. Can you think of anyone?
Not really. She's so pure, you know, like I can't imagine there being a bad bone in her body. Like there's just no way. She's one of the few like actual stars that just seems to be an incredible person. And there are very few of them, period. I mean, she's
like the definition of down to earth.
Yes.
Like, she really is.
Yes.
And it blows my mind because like we said, in many ways, she was the blueprint for like child stardom in the 2000s. And for her to have made it out of that before all the protections that child stars have now, and be level-headed and never get into any kind of scandal and is just a normal 30-year-old who has a family. I'm like, that is so rare for most child stars to be able to achieve that kind of normalcy in their life. Yeah. That I think that's another part that's just so charming about her is that she made it out.
Yeah, and she still lives in Los Angeles. Like she grew up here. She never left. Like it's rare because usually when you hear about stars that kind of like found a way to be down to earth or whatever, they left the city, right? They like moved to a farm or they moved to Tennessee or something like that, or Michigan. Yeah. And you know, they just had like a more normal life. But she's been able to do all that while still maintaining her proximity to, you know, the arts mecca that this is, and really her relationship with her husband has spawned this new project, which is really cool. I do want to talk about that a little bit together, just because like
that's it.
I think that's it's really telling about their marriage. I think that they felt so safe to do this with each other. That's a really hard thing to be super vulnerable with your partner and like craft an entire album with them. And I mean, obviously Lady Gaga just did this recently with her partner as well. Yeah. But I think it really shows a strong relationship to be able to collaborate at this level. And some of the lyrics on here are very much about him and about their relationship. And the fact that they could sit with that together and really make this happen is really cool, I think.
Yeah, it's got to be challenging because like some of the stuff on here, I'm like, girl, is your marriage okay? Like you seem like really insecure about the stability of this. I don't think that's necessarily the truth. I think this is just kind of, you know, her more battles of insecurity internally rather than it's saying anything about their marriage. But like for him to be able to hear that, like I think of a song like Holiday Party towards the end of the record that is like super like I think about you hooking up with another prettier girl at a holiday party and I just have to sit there and watch. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like for him to be able to like have that therapy session with her, help her put that song together and release it. I'm like, this man is secure.
Yeah,
he is
exactly.
secure in their marriage. He is secure in his own ego. Like it's very impressive. It definitely feels like a very mature, healthy relationship.
Yeah, for sure. Before we jump totally into the album, any other like post Lizzie, post Disney stuff that you kind of like followed in Hilary's career before this moment?
You know, not particularly. I think by the time she was kind of like in that midpoint with her music in the 2010s, I think I was kind of at that point where I was like, I'm too old for Disney Channel. Like this is my kid years. Like I'm not going to really pay attention to Hilary Duff. I think we all go through that with the stuff that we really loved as a kid. And then by the time you get to like your mid 20s and early 30s, you start to
come back around,
deeply fond and nostalgic for that period of time. And I think that's where I'm at with her now. But I do think I kind of stopped following her career around that time.
Yeah, that's fair. I never watched Younger. Did you?
Me neither.
Yeah.
I did watch a little bit of How I Met Your Father.
So same. I wanted to talk about that.
When she did the reboot.
Yeah. So some context with How I Met Your Father, which I think is very interesting. When Disney Plus launched, they were in talks to do a Lizzie McGuire like revisit show, and Hilary was really pushing for her to be an adult because she just did an interview with 60 Minutes, which was super like informative about this album and about her life. And one of the things she said in there was that it's hard to be known for this character who never ages, who never grows up. And she really wanted to bring Lizzie McGuire into her 30s and show like what life is like now as a fully grown adult. And for whatever reason, there was some creative disputes with Disney. They did not want to show some of the more mature aspects of her being an adult in the show. And Hilary left the project and was offered the reboot of How I Met Your Mother, which was called How I Met Your Father. Frankly, a pretty ill-conceived show, all things
it was fine
stated. Yeah, it was okay. I definitely feel like it grew out of a time when Hollywood was dealing with this like mandate to have like a diversity quota. And so everything kind of just feels like manufactured rather than natural.
Yeah.
And
I agree with that.
I just think some of the structure of the show was like so obviously being shown through the veil of like what was actually happening on screen that I felt like it was a little bit inauthentic. And I also think they missed on a couple of the cast, just not the most interesting people. But Hilary Duff was far from the problem on the show. She was very charming.
No, she was great. Yeah, she was very good in it. I think that was really what kind of the announcement of the Lizzie McGuire reboot is what like reminded me of my love for Hilary Duff. And then, so because of that, and I was just so happy she was back on my screen. And obviously I love How I Met Your Mother so much that I decided to check that out. And I watched definitely the first season. I think there were 2 seasons, but I think I only watched the first.
I saw half of the second season, but it just, the quality wasn't there.
Yeah. So that's what really brought me back into the Hilary fold. So I've been watching her closely since then. I really love her open door AD video of showing her house. I've watched that a couple times. So I would say that's what brought me back into the fold, which leads us to today, first album in 10 years. Yeah. Over 10 years.
11 years, actually.
Yeah.
Not that I listened to the 2015 album, but I mean, it's still a very long gap in between albums. And really, I feel like it's been almost 2 decades since most of her fan base listened to an album from her. So
yes, I agree.
This is pretty extraordinary. It's something special to get an album that is this like open and vulnerable and interesting from an artist that we haven't heard from in so long. And it's fun to rediscover them. Is that what your experience was?
And and again, just what I said earlier about her making it out of child stardom. Like, I feel like most of those kind of stars at this age would want nothing to do with what they are known for.
Yes.
And for her to be so healed and so comfortable in her life now to like actually want to come back to music, not having a label like push her to do that, but her coming back on her own accord after having some time away and saying, I have more to say now, is really cool. Like
It is.
It makes it a more special listen, that you know that this really came out of her passion for it and her rekindling of the love for it.
Definitely reminds me of Alyssa Liu, who I'll talk about later in our Sparking Joy. But the fact that she left the sport and then came back on her own terms and won gold is really cool.
It's cool.
So do you want to start with overall thoughts on Luck or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Kick us off.
Sure. Okay. So overall thoughts on the album. First of all, I felt like this was much better than I ever imagined it was going to be. There's a complete album here. It's not just a collection of songs. There really is like thematic, infrastructure in this thing. And the lyrics are really well thought out and interesting and intricate. And the music, I don't think is always 100% there, but I think it's starting to find something. And for an album, for a comeback album, I think that's a really great place to start, when you feel like you have some sort of foundation to build on for the next one. But ultimately, I'm not craving the next one, because I do really like this and I'm going to sit with it for a while. What were your initial thoughts there?
100%. Shock, honestly, was probably a good way to describe it. It's not that I think it's fair to say I had low hopes for this. I'll just be honest about it. I mean, I wasn't going into this thinking like I'm going to get a really great album. I was going into it thinking I'm just so happy for Hilary Duff. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm happy she's back. I'm happy she's happy. I'm happy she's doing what she loved, but I never expected it to like actually be a good album.
No.
And as I was listening to it, I was kind of like, am I just in a gay man's Hilary Duff bubble, or is this actually kind of good?
It is good.
And I went online, and I think people generally agree with me that it's actually much better than I ever anticipated it being. Overall, my biggest overall thought is how much she could have either made a album based on nostalgia and what she's known for, and chased the sound of the early 2000s to tell this story and just like give some fan service. That was one route she could have taken. The other route being she could have chased whatever trend is happening right now in 2026 and tried to make a very current sounding album, which I also think would have been just as bad, right? But what she did was really give us something that felt really honest and true to her, like something that doesn't feel like anything she's done before, not necessarily something we've never heard before as an audience, but something at least we've never heard from her before. And I was also surprised at how much the lyrics were a primary driving force here. Same. And not really the music. But I think she was able to accomplish something with her husband where the music really serves the lyrics in a pretty interesting way that still gives you like the euphoric pop moments that you want in a Hilary Duff song, but also storytelling that we've never really gotten from her before.
Yeah, the storytelling really jumped out at me. And I think one of the crazy things is how different of an artist she is now. Like when, in the early 2000s, obviously she was singing songs written by other people, and they're very anthemic, a lot of her older songs. Just kind of like classic like pop set pieces almost, and this is not that at all. This is very introspective, soft. She kind of forgoes the vocal stacks that she was known for early in her career, and it's a pretty thin vocal in a lot of the album, which I both admire and left me wanting a little bit, because I was hoping for a little bit more of that, especially on some of these choruses that I think you really could have leaned into it a little bit more. But I thought that was interesting. Like she's just saying, this is who I am today, and this is the album I want to make. And that's really admirable, I think.
I completely agree with you there. Yeah. Some of these choruses are really hooky. Like I wrote on Instagram, she still has a great ear for melody all these years later. But you're right that I think had she worked with a different producer, I think these songs would have sounded much different. They would have been a lot bigger, a lot bolder, a lot more, chasing a hit. And it's clear that she was not chasing a hit on this record. It was very much like, I want to make a cohesive sound. I don't want I don't want the hook to be the thing that is remembered. I want the lyrics to be what is remembered. And I think she accomplished that pretty spectacularly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Should we start the deep dive then?
Let's do it. Yeah. So
okay.
At the top, we're at Weather for Tennis, the opening
Great
track.
title. First of
Great
all.
title. Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Makes you want to click on it, right? It's like,
yes.
Oh, what's this about? And I have not fathomed the meaning of this song at all because I just think
not in the slightest.
Okay, great. I'm glad you haven't either.
this one's a little bit, what's going on here? But it's all clever. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. She does a lot of things lyrically on this record that like the mouthfeel of the lyrics are not obvious. So what I mean by that is like, I'm having trouble like singing along to this chorus because I think the way the words flow, like it's very clear to me. Another thing I admire about this record is it doesn't feel like a seasoned lyricist wrote this, because a seasoned lyricist would accomplish what they need to say, but in a way that is sing-songy, right? In a way that has a good mouthfeel to sing a hook, right? And I think the way she has written this is more like, I've written down the lyrics as poetry, essentially, and now I'm going to try to find a way to stack a melody on top of it. And so when you try and sing along to the hook, the chorus, I'm like, ooh, it's a little clunky, but not in a way that's like bad. It's just like different.
Yeah,
from what I'm used to.
I think these first two songs are the clunkiest, I would say, on the whole album. To be honest, I think it gets way less clunky as the album goes on. But I totally agree with what you're saying there. There's a bit of like a marbles in your mouth kind of vibe with some of these lyrics where it's like, I don't quite know. The turn of phrase is not really like in the most intuitive, but it is interesting and forces me to listen, which I think is really special.
Agreed.
My favorite lyric from this song is, I'm a child of divorce and you're a starter of wars and there's no winning in yours. That's a really like clever.
That's a banger.
That is.
Yeah, that's a banger lyric.
Clever line.
She has some... The juxtaposition on this album is really funny because there are some lyrics on here that are cringe fest USA.
Terrible.
And again, like, but in an endearing way because it's Hilary Duff saying it. But then there's like also like genuinely banger lines that when she wrote that down, she's like, I just ate with that. Like you can hear it. She's like, I cooked on this one. And that's one of them. That is for sure one of them.
Yeah.
So this is actually my favorite track on the whole record.
Great.
I just I love the way this sounds. It just sounds exactly what I want from a Hilary Duff song in 2026. And it's a really good tone setter. It's a very good tone setter for the album, because this album is extremely cohesive, sometimes to a fault. And this is just like a great way to enter the soundscape that she's creating here.
Yeah, I fully agree. It reminded me a little bit of not stylistically, but in terms of setting the tone for the album, it reminded me a lot of the Audrey Hobart album and the first song on that.
Yes,
I Like to Touch People. Just really bringing you into the world of the artist and what they're trying to say.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay, so let's talk about Roommates, which this is probably the track I rub up against the most because I do find it the most reductive of everything on this album.
Okay, describe what you mean by that.
So the beat is just anti-hero.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is another big takeaway of mine, that Midnight seems to be the primary inspiration for the soundscape of this record, in my opinion. I originally was thinking TTPD, but the more I listen, I agree with you that thematically, especially, a lot of these are sort of like late night confessional type of songs. And so that mixed with the sort of Taylor Swift-esque lyric, super
production.
dream pop production. Very much so. But yes, the beat is anti-hero.
So I kind of rub up against that a little bit, just because this one of all of them feels the most engineered to me to be a hit. And I don't know that
that's fair.
It will be. I think it's just not quite there as a song. But I feel like I see the inner workings of what they're trying to accomplish, from a business perspective on this one, that I don't love as much. I just don't think it's quite as, articulate or interesting as a lot of the other stuff on this album.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's I think it was smart to put it at the beginning of the record.
Yes.
I think it helps get you in. Like the first two songs, I feel like really hook you with the bigness of them. right?
Yes.
Like these are pop songs. So I like its placement a lot. I actually liked this song more than Mature because those were the two pre-release singles.
Yeah.
When Roommates came out, I was like, oh, I think I like this one more than Mature. But in the context of the album, I actually think I like Mature better.
I love Mature in the context of the album. I think it's really special there.
Yeah. But I really like Roommates. There's definitely some shock factor lyrics in there, like I'm touching myself at the front door and watching porn and all that kind of stuff. I see what you mean.
But I like that it's front loaded on the album because it lets you know that this is not going to be year-old Hilary Duff, which I like.
No. Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I have a strong opinion either way on this song, but to my ear, it's nice to listen to and it's fun to sing along to.
I wouldn't say I dislike anything on this album. I think this one is just a little bit more try hard.
Sure.
Maybe that's my word for it. Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
But it's okay. I like it. It's not bad.
Speaking of songs sounding like other songs, the next one is We Don't Talk, right?
Yes.
The instrumental sounds exactly like somebody that I used to know.
Yeah, so we need to talk about this because look, I understand that somebody I used to know was like one of the biggest songs of all time. I am questioning whether the cultural significance of the song merits the fact that we got anxiety in this in like
in a matter of like
1 year
2 years.
period. Because I think it is a good song. Somebody I used to know. I want to be clear. I'm talking about that song.
Okay.
Do I think it's like Bohemian Rhapsody where every artist needs to be ripping it off? I don't know.
No. And I don't think it's that.
Okay.
I think what you're forgetting about somebody that I used to know is that when that came on the radio, literally everyone stopped and said, what is this?
Right? Well, true. Yeah.
I think about, there are two songs from the 2010s that I think about this phenomenon that like altered the trajectory of pop music. Somebody that I used to know. Was it really that old?
I'm going to find out.
It was 2010s.
Hold, please. You can keep going.
But regardless, there are two songs from like that time period, that decade of music, that I think really like changed the trajectory of pop music for the next 10 years. And those are Somebody That I Used to Know by Gautier and Royals by Lorde. Like those two songs feel like, you know, normal songs now, but at the time they did not feel like normal songs. Like Somebody That I Used to Know was super unique at the time. Like that, I remember that production being like super avant-garde for radio, and Royals was exactly the same. The sparseness of that song, the kind of really confessional lyrics to a point of uncomfortability, like this whole, you know, the really kind of dark moodiness of it obviously led way to people like Billie Eilish now. And now it just feels like a Lorde song, right? We all know it and feel it. But at the time it was really groundbreaking. So I do think you're underestimating the impact that it had on the pop music genre. And so that's why I think it is so heavily influenced, because we're a certain time away from it now. So I think because it was influential, people are now like going back to it like, oh my God, remember this, remember how incredible that was. And they're trying to interpolate it now. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, that's fair. By the way, I looked this up. The album came out January 1st, 2011. So I'm guessing this was a late 2010 single.
Yep. Okay.
But yeah, you're right. It's the right time period.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think this and Royals, huge influence. They sort of broke the mold of what was going on at the time, which was, really Katy Perry. You know, that was
right.
Katy Perry and Gaga, very theatrical bubblegum pop almost. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I think it is maybe more influential than you're giving it, but I agree with you that it's not like Bohemian Rhapsody. And it is strange that we have two songs in the matter of like 2 years that have, I don't know that this one is like, Anxiety is like clearly a rip, right? It's like this is not true sample. This is not rip. That, but it's very clearly the basis for it.
Yeah. And my take on that, and with regards to We Don't Talk, is I just don't think it needed those references. I think this song is really great. And
I like the song a lot.
If we had cut some of the obvious references to that song, I think I would have liked this more, to be honest.
I agree. Yeah, I think I'm with you there. It takes me out of it a little bit.
It does too. I'm like, that first verse I think is really spectacucular, and then once we get into the wow,
yes, it's that sound. It's that sound. It's that a sound
I'm
effect.
Like, okay,
yeah, like we get it. Okay. What I really want to talk about with this one is the very clear line she is drawing, but with the relationship with her sister, or I guess the lack thereof with her sister, which I think is really a bold thing to be putting, especially like right at the top of the record. I didn't know that her and Haley were on the outs with each other.
I was not aware either. No.
Yeah. Apparently fans have been speculating for years because they haven't been pictured together in like 10 years. But I didn't know that they had such a rocky relationship, and she hasn't really been forthcoming in interviews as to why, but she has been very forthcoming that it's very painful to her.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a very clear undertone of optimism that they could mend things in the future in the lyrics. Like it sounds very much like that bridge, especially, is like imagining what it would look like for them to sit down and talk it out and, you know, heal, but you can really hear the pain in the lyrics.
I wrote the same thing. Really painful. From my understanding, Haley's become deeply MAGA, and that is a big.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a big rift in their relationship. And then I think like that type of thing is not talked about enough. I think the boundaries that people our age are starting to put up with family and friends that are, you know, just not good influences on their lives anymore. And I think that it's important to talk about this in a song. It's also, it's pretty crazy to just put this right up front. I mean, like Hilary Duff was also a big star. So
she was,
you know, it's very interesting.
And there's a lyric, I'm going to quote it wrong, but there's a lyric in here that's like, if the reason is you're jealous or your jealousy, whatever, like I would sell it all.
I know.
And burn it just to have you in my life, basically. Because there really did get to a point where Haley was kind of famous for being Hilary's sister.
Yeah.
And so I can imagine that's really hard as a sibling for that to happen. But yeah, so I thought that was really powerful that she was like, I would give up the fame. I would give up all of it just to have my sister, you know, that was really special.
I think that
so wish them well.
Yeah. The hardest thing to hear was that in that 60 Minutes interview, she said, or the interviewer asked, like, you know, do you hope that Haley hears this song, and do you think that will change anything? And she said, I don't see how that would help. Like,
yeah.
So,
and she also wasn't confident that she would hear it.
Yeah, I just think that relationship is pretty sour at this point, and it's sad. It's really sad. You never want to see that.
Yeah, yeah. But some banger lyrics on here.
Oh,
definitely. It's the point in the record where you go, oh, this isn't just a pop record, right? Like, whether for Tennis and Roommates, you're getting kind of the fun danceable songs, and then it's like, oh, we're telling the full story here.
Yeah, so this is where I've been swirling my wine a bit, and it's starting to open up. That's how I feel about this song. Yeah, and going into the rest of the album, it's like, oh,
yeah, yep. Okay, next song is Future Tripping. Really fun one. Carly Rae Jepsen. Welcome to the building.
1000% Carly Rae Jepsen. Yes.
Oh, hey girl. Hey, Carly Rae.
In fact, I do think this album is kind of parallel to Loneliest Time in terms of like woman in her 30s writes some like pretty introspective pop bangers. I was like, yeah. I'm liking this a lot. Yeah.
I like that we're getting a lot more 30s
pop
stars. Because like the early 2000s was so like as soon as you reached like 23, they were like, see ya.
Yeah. Well,
next 16-year-old.
It's all tied together with the fucking Epstein files and like the way our culture was like obsessed with children and was exploiting them. Yeah. It's
bizarre.
Anyway, we're starting to come out of that. Seems like.
I think the streaming age has actually really helped our pop stars from that time remain relevant.
Yes,
throughout that time, and given them the space to just release music that's honest about where they're at right now. Like, I think Robin's most recent 2 singles are really informative in this conversation. Like, they're super, like, one of the, I think it's Sexistential is the song, where she talks about like in vitro and all that kind of stuff, like the pains of, you know, late motherhood and things like that. It's like stuff that you would not hear in pop music 20 years ago. And this whole album is very much that. Like, this is not something anyone would have asked for in 2003.
No.
But now it's like, it's really cool to be able to hear that perspective. Like, life does not stop when you reach 25.
Not at all. It starts for most people.
Yes. Like that's when you get into the good stuff. Right. And it's cool to have pop stars who are feeling confident enough to tell their story in that time period.
Yeah, you're right. The barrier that labels used to present to artists once they aged out of pop stardom or exploitability. Really what it is exploitability, because when you get to a certain age, you're no longer easy to control. And so that's why a lot of these labels just dumped people after that. And so, the barrier to entry is now gone because of streaming, and you can just use your platform and continue to grow it.
Yeah. Release whatever you want, whenever you want.
Yeah.
You don't even need a label anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very cool. Another song I have not really fathomed the lyrics of, but just
Future
really
Trippin'?
like the way it sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a vibe. I don't know. There's some great moments on here. I wrote Bridgerton meets Bleachers for the production of this song.
Bleachers, that's a good comp.
Yeah.
That's a good comp.
But there's some like Bridgerton-esque strings, and some of the production's very like, we're going to the ball. But it's also
it's very sing-songy, this chorus is.
I can just sort of feel like the indie pop influence of Bleachers on the song. And you know, we get a Sunset in Doheny shout out, which I always love when artists throw in LA street names in their song. Good time for me. That is a reference to the Sunset Strip, where like a lot of famous like nightclubs and stuff are on. So you know, she's tripping at the club. Future tripping. Yeah.
Okay.
We like that. Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is a fun one. Put Carly Rae on the remix. Thank you. Next.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, is the next one Growing Up?
It is Growing Up, yes.
This is one of my two skips, I fear.
That's fair. I like it.
I really appreciate the sentiment of this song. I have never liked "This is my friend and she helps me in hard times" kind of songs.
Yeah,
I find them to be so... Next. I just can't. There's something about it. Like, I don't want it in a song.
So you're saying you hate female friendships?
That's not what I'm saying. I love female friendships. All 4 female friendships. I don't want to hear a pop song about it. I just don't. I just think it's cringy. There's something inherently cringe about writing about your friends. And I don't know what it is. I just can't get past it.
See, and I wrote a great song about found family. You know, because that's very, you know.
I love the sentiment. I don't like the song.
That's fair. I like the natural wine mention. That is like the most like 30s white woman in LA type of bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Have you ever had natural 100%. Wine?
I don't know what that is.
Can't recommend it less. It's very popular. It is it's like a white wine in which during the fermentation process, the wine is in contact with the skin of like a fruit, usually an orange.
Okay.
And it gives it a really citrusy vibe. I just think it tastes like you're just drinking acid. I'm not a fan. It's just way too bright and like has no body at all.
Interesting.
But it's extremely popular in LA because it kind of rose to prominence with the whole like vegan movement that was happening in like the early 2010s and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like a natural, you know, it's natural wine.
Anything titled natural or organic. Those LA girlies are going to eat that shit.
Oh man. Yeah. They'll spend $25 on their Erewhon smoothies, you know.
Yeah, on their way to Pilates.
Yeah, you know. At Equinox.
Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff. I'm sure Hilary Duff does all those things, which is fine. She's very wealthy, and
she definitely does. She definitely does. And
I'm so happy for her.
I'm not faulting her for that.
I will say I read down. I really like the production on this song. I'm kind of obsessed with it, honestly. And it's like it has like a natural, like there's nature sounds. There's like soft acoustic guitar, and then there's really trashy Y2K drums. It's a fun juxtaposition. I'm like, I see what you're cooking a little bit on this. This is where I'm starting to feel like, okay, we're coming out of like pure influence farming and into like, even something if original. Lyrically this one isn't quite as strong, musically I feel like this is one of the stronger points. And so I'm like,
that's fair.
Yeah, at least the production wise. Hookiness maybe not so much, but you know.
Yep.
I like it.
Well, I think that kind of continues into The Optimist, which is the next song, which at first listen, I was kind of like, do I really want this kind of a song from Hilary Duff? Like this kind of like indie acoustic thing. I'm like, I don't know that I'm going to Hilary Duff for something like this, but it's actually really grown on me the more I've listened to it. And
same,
I
it's
think
a grower.
it's the lyrical standout, I think, of the album. Like it feels like the cornerstone of what she's getting at. And talks about family trauma and complicated dynamics and fame and growing up in fame and, all that kind of stuff. But it's definitely an interesting setup where the beginning talks about her going to see a hypnotist to try and get rid of some of this familial pain.
Yeah.
And the hypnotist being like, yo, there are some things that I can't do. And her trying to kind of grasp the fact of like, I will always have this. It's never going away. And I just need to be honest about it. It's very cool.
There's some like
to read. Sorry,
deeper. There's some like deeper well type of stuff in the song, and I really
yes. I actually, that's funny you said that. Somebody was like, get Casey on this song immediately.
Yeah, really. And the hypnotist stuff kind of reminds me of the C'est Comme Ça, the Paramore song too. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit like, the chiropractor bit. I think it's fun. It's really interesting. It is fun.
It's super cool. Another one of those, like, no one else would have made those lyrics work in a pop song.
No.
It's like the mouthfeel. Mouthfeel is super weird on this whole record. My standout lyric is in verse 2. I'll read the whole of verse 2, but I'll shout out which part really grabs me. Verse 2 reads, I was an emotional architect who knew your dimensions more than you. And then this is the standout for me. I learned which way you turned your back to let go of eye contact and which bottles made you feel most immune.
I wrote down the same lyric.
Yeah. That shit is special. Fire.
Yeah.
The pen was on fire when she wrote that. Like, truly. I'm like, okay, lyricist Hilary Duff. The fuck? Like, where did this come from? Okay, poet.
Yeah. This is like a classic story song. There. It's impressive.
It is. It's very, very, very impressive. And I love the chorus starts off with like something so trivial and then something so awful. It says, I wish I could sleep on planes. It's like, okay, yeah, same bestie. And that my father would really love me. It's like, fuck. Holy shit.
We really backdoored the meaning of what's going on.
Yeah. It's like two polar opposites, like small inconvenience to like lifelong traumatic event.
Yeah.
Right next to each other. It's really funny. I want to know the tea with Dad. Where are you?
So
what's wrong with you?
I saw another clip from the 60 Minutes interview talking about this.
Was it 60 Minutes or was it CBS Mornings?
You're right. It's CBS Mornings. You're right. They're on the same channel. The 60 Minutes is the Sunday evening show. CBS Mornings is the Sunday morning show. That is my fault. I apologize.
Yep. It's good.
I think based on what I saw that her dad had a really hard time with her fame and kind of crashed out about it. It feels very similar to the Shia LaBeouf situation portrayed in the movie Honey Boy.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a common occurrence among child stars where a parent gets jealous of their child's success, which
interesting
sucks. She's been through a lot.
Fuck. No offense, but fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I have no sympathy for this man.
And in this clip, like you can tell Hilary Duff's such a wonderful person because she like holds space for her dad's struggles and tries to sympathize with his feelings. But then she's like, but I'm the kid though.
But I'm the kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. I watched this whole clip too.
I was like, God damn.
Like can we give her therapist a raise?
Seriously.
That's all I gotta say. Her therapist is doing the work.
I need to get connected with them for fuck's sake.
Like that. Yeah, that was an incredible moment where she's like, I understand his pain, but also like you goofed. Like I'm the kid. Like, I didn't deserve that.
I think the bridge on this one is devastating. One note on this album, I wish the bridges were a little bit stronger, especially with the obvious allusions to Taylor Swift. They feel lacking in comparison. But I do really like the bridge of this album, which is just truly like, it's a dig, but it's also an appeal for connection. It's like this thing that like, fuck you for giving me this ability to disconnect and turn this off, but also like, I get this from you and I like this about myself kind of a thing. And that's oof, that rough. Hit me. And also my favorite little touch on the song musically is that, at the end of each chorus, she says, but all exists as the optimist. And then the final chorus, she says, it's hard to exist as the optimist. And in that line, the word optimist has a slightly different melody and it ends minor. All the other times it ends major.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
actually ends on kind of a pessimistic tone.
Yeah. It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
It hits. This is a really, really good song. This is going in the pantheon for this year for me. This might make my end of really year good list in terms of I'm just very impressed by the songwriting.
I am too. And I had a very funny misheard lyric on this the first couple times. In the chorus, it says, he'd call me almost every day. How's the weather? Are you eating honey? And I'm like, why does this man care if she's eating honey? Like, does it just have... Does it have so many health benefits? Like, is this an LA thing that I don't know about? And then I realized it's, are you eating, honey? And then I thought, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
You know, they say if you eat local honey, that actually does help you with your allergies because
I did hear that because of the pollen.
The pollen gets mixed into your food and then it's,
Yes, I did hear this.
So yes, you heard it correctly the first time. That was exactly what she intended.
Yes, it was. I heard the right. Very pro bees. She said save the bees. Okay, what the fuck? Let's go on to the next song. Which is
You From the Honeymoon.
Remember. Yeah, you talk about this one. This one,
okay.
I have nothing against it. It's just completely washes over me. I think it's its placement. I just have not. Yeah, I don't. I just like it. It just passes me by.
Yeah. So we've exited the family trauma part of this, and now we're entering the intrusive thoughts about your relationship stuff.
Right.
And so first of all, the production on this song is Lonesome State of Mind by Joe. And there's also like some references to melodically feels like Sophia by Clairo as well is in this song. So I will say I'm predisposed music DNA wise to like this because it's just a lot of things that I really like. However, what I really like most about the song is the honesty of like being in a marriage for a while and like that long-term feeling of like you kind of settle into just like a routine and that initial like romantic spark is not what you experience day to day anymore. And I liked the feeling of this song of like, at one point, I think she says something like, you know, we're more connected now than we used to be, but sometimes I long for this too. I forget. She has a more elegant way of saying it, but I really like that. And I think this sentiment is beautiful of like, wanting to go back to an earlier time and just experience that again. That is really cool. Is this the right one? Oh, no. There's another song that has a lyric that kind of goes into this theme as well that I want to talk about later. That's like, oof, hit me right in the chest. But yeah, I really like this song. I will say my first listen, I think this was more of a standout. And as on subsequent listens, there's other songs that stand out more for me. Okay. So, but I really like it. It's a nice little pop song.
I think it's the sound of it. Clairo was actually a very informative comp there because that it is kind of that vibe, and I think it's a little too bedroom poppy. For me.
It's definitely bedroom pop.
Chill.
Yes,
too chill for me. I think that's why it washes over me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think the next one is Holiday Party.
Yes.
Am I right? Which is the polar opposite. This is a banger.
This might be my actual favorite. Right now.
Yeah, you're not alone. A lot of people online are really loving this one. We kind of talked about the lyrical content a little bit earlier about how it's her insecure about her cool indie husband finding a cooler indie girlfriend. So, you know, it's very honest. It's very raw. I cannot believe they wrote this together. But at the same time, it's also just a really good pop song. Like it's just really fun to listen to. That hook is really good. Something that she does really well on this record is a lot of the songs, like the first time I heard them I was like, okay, this is kind of catchy, and then by the end of the song I was like living. I think these songs like build really well. Each chorus adds in an instrumental that keeps you hooked the entire time. So by the time you get to the last chorus, you're like full euphoric pop moment. I really like that and appreciate that. Great
it builds on this album. Yeah,
for sure.
I never got sick of the choruses on this album. She kept coming back to them, and I'm like, more of this, please. The chorus is meant to be repeated multiple times. That's why it's hooky. This is the point of pop music. And I feel like we've lost that a little bit as a society. And for instance, why the hell doesn't House Tour by Sabrina Carpenter have more choruses? This is like,
I could write a 50-page dissertation on the fact that it needs one more chorus at the end. I'm furious.
It's actually not acceptable because it's like a 9 out of 10 song that would be like a 11,000 out of 10 if they just had one more chorus.
Literally. I know. I can't. It's very frustrating because it's the very clear standout of that record for me. And honestly, I might like the record more if there was one more chorus on House Tour. I'm not kidding.
Fair.
I'm not kidding. Fair. It needs it so bad. So annoying. Yeah. So that's Holiday Party. Really good. And it's escaping me.
I did want to say victim of the Holiday Party as a metaphor for just cheating is really good. It's just really good.
That's good shit. Yeah, it is good.
Pat on the back, Hilary Duff. Nice.
Yeah.
It has one of the most hooky choruses, I think, of the whole album.
I 100%. Yeah, I totally agree. And then is the next song That's Not Gonna Happen?
No, Mature is next.
Oh, Mature is next. Okay, yeah, which we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on because obviously this one's been around for a while. But I do really like it a lot more in the context of I liked it fine when it first came out, but I like it a lot more in the context of this.
Yeah, I wrote at this point, she aligns the right songs to put you in the right mindset for the next one. She's really good about structuring this album where it's like, you know, there was the song about her marriage, and then there's a song about fearing that someone's going to cheat on you, and then so you're like, fuck men, and then Mature comes on, and you're like, yeah, actually, fuck men.
Yeah,
you know, it's like
that's smart.
She's smart at navigating the themes. Yeah. So you're like ready for the next thing that she's going to say.
This one about a totally different man, not about her husband, but strong speculation. It's about Leonardo DiCaprio, and in that,
really,
yes. Well, in that interview, earlier in the interview, the guy asked her, you know, many people are speculating this is about Leonardo DiCaprio. Can you confirm or deny? And she was like, I have loved watching the internet spiral over who this is about. And she's like, I can never say who because it's just so much fun. And that was her way of saying, yes, this is about Leonardo DiCaprio.
Do they date?
I don't know. I think it's like kind of like some people have been speculating it for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but that's what people think it's about. And that's very funny to me. Very funny. Because obviously that's like his primary reputation at this point is not that he's a good actor. It's that he dates women. And then when they turn 25, he discards them.
Yeah.
So
I'm still kind of convinced they're all beards. This is my long-standing hot take about Leonardo DiCaprio. I think the fact that he never reveals anything about himself is very troubling. It's either that he's like part of the pedophile cabal or that he's just closeted, which I'm hoping it's the latter.
Comparison that you just made there.
Well, I would hope that it's the first one and not, or I mean, I would hope that it's the we're closeted or we're just being private about our lives.
That was very right-wing talking point. You just went there. Yeah,
welcome to the Joe Rogan experience.
He's either a pedophile or he's gay. Like, thanks. We've been trying to fight that one for about 100 years. Thanks. Perfect.
I'm so sorry. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. He's wonderful in one battle after another. Okay, moving on.
I know what you meant. It's okay. I'm just giving you a hard time. Okay. So that's for sure. And then is the next one.
Tell me that won't happen.
Tell me that won't happen. This is a standout for me. This one is hook central. That hook is so good. So good. So smartly placed in the record. I hate it when you get the more like boring kind of ambient songs at the end. She saved some real bangers for the end. I mean, Holiday Party into Mature into this one. Like she keeps you, she kind of bookends. Like I'm going to put the hook, like the really hooky ones at the beginning and the really hooky ones at the end. And I thought that was very smart. Very, very smart.
1975 coded.
Super 19. Yes. Very 1975 coded. Yeah. Matty Healy is all over this for sure.
Yep.
But I love that sound. So
me too.
More. Thank you very much. And then the last song.
Wait. I have a quick note on Tell Me What That Won't Happen. This is the lyric I was talking about earlier that really hit me in the chest. I'm worried that I felt everything I'll ever feel that I won't again. That's tough. That's a real feeling that you have in your 30s at some point. But you know what makes me feel like that's not going to be the case is our Italy vacation last year, doing the caves, the water caves. That just made me feel like when we were swimming in the water in the caves. That made me feel like, okay, there are things just to experience in this life that can just bring unbelievable amounts of joy. And you know, nothing is going to change that. I'm about to enter one of those phases myself. having a child.
100%
so,
you are.
You know,
yeah, this is your biggest adventure yet.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, I wrote
which
Real
leads
Girl,
us to
Real. Over the
which leads us to Adult Size Medium, which is a song all about basically dreading your youth and wondering how you got here and remembering all of it, but remembering none of it. It's very, very existential. It's a very 30s song. Very. Oh my 30s. God.
Very.
Also mention of Aperol. Shout out Aperol.
Another white girl wasted staple.
Yeah. 100%. And I'm on board with that one.
Surprised you didn't get an espresso martini shout out.
Martini.
Too. That would have completed the triumvirate.
Yeah, the trifecta. The white girl alcohol trifecta. I love this one. It really made the album title less awful to me.
Same.
I don't know about you. I really hated the album title, and I still don't love the album title, but it makes sense now that I'm hearing it in context with the song, and it's a nice sentiment to end the album with. Like
it is.
Yeah.
I found this a nicer sentiment than song. Like I think it's emotionally the right tone, the right chord to set at the end. I just don't know that I like this song as much, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fair. Sometimes I think this one could be a grower.
It could be. And sometimes you just need the right song to end the experience of the album. And it's not necessarily always going to be the best song that you write.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed. But I think it is the perfect ending chord for the themes that were discussed in the record, and kind of just like a cap on her, 2-decade long career. 2.5 basically. And sets her up for, the rest of her life. It's kind of sad to hear her talk about how everything moved so fast as a kid and as a teenager that she's like, I have all of these movies and shows, but I remember almost nothing because it all just happened so fast. And that's a very sad sentiment, but also I don't think necessarily unique to her. Like, I think a lot of us feel that way. Like, I have these memories, but also remember
where did the time go?
And like, how did we get here? Yeah. So it's cool. I actually like this song quite a bit. I like the way it sounds.
Nice. Okay. So that's the album. We really liked it. Go Hilary Duff.
I did not expect to have this much to say about a Hilary Duff album in 2026.
Me neither.
I didn't even know that we'd do a deep dive on it. I
didn't either until I saw that you really liked it. I had not listened yet, but I was like, we have so much to talk about with regards to Hilary Duff that if you like it enough, we should just do this. And I'm really glad we did, because this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. Really fun. Really, really fun. Go Hilary Duff. Just my comfort celebrity.
I'm so happy. And you're seeing her live, right? You got tickets?
Yes, we got tickets to go see her at my favorite music venue here in Indy. And I'm just very, very, very excited. I think she very much knows that the people going to see her shows like really want the old hits. And I think she's at a point in her career where she's really leaning into that, which is very fun. So a lot of like the preview shows she did to like promote the release of this record, she was doing a lot of the old stuff. And I'm excited to hear like a nice balance of some of these new bops, but also the stuff that I grew up loving.
Yeah. I love it. That's wonderful. What's sparking joy for you right now?
I guess just all the music I've been listening to is one thing. Other than that, I don't really have anything new to add. I would just say doing a lot of music discovery and having a blast doing it.
Yeah. Should we talk traders real quick?
We're running a little long on time, but we can. I can say that two nights ago, Thursday's episode was, I thought, excellent. I think that they have production has managed to make a leftover, not super spectacular cast. Like, definitely the heavy hitters of the cast are gone now. Yep. But they have managed to keep the narrative very interesting during the end here. And I was hooked. I was glued to my seat during this episode. Quick
prediction. Do you think the traders win?
I think they will.
I do too, but I think only one of them makes it.
I think Rob is the only one who makes it.
Okay.
I know that he has a lot of suspicion on him by now, but if it's anything like this last roundtable, like everybody came in there like, we're kind of sus on Rob. And then like one thing went wrong, and then everyone was like, nope, it's not him. He can't possibly be a traitor. Kill her instead. So I think I think that is going to happen with Eric.
Yeah, he's just so charming.
Everyone's going to get on the Eric bus and get him out, and then Rob will be left.
All right, we'll see if our predictions are right. I just wanted to say, too, if you haven't seen the Alyssa Liu free skate, it's so spectacular. Definitely go watch that. Brought me so much joy.
So joyous. Just also I was beaming the whole time watching it.
MacArthur Park goated song. Congrats to Donna Summer. All right. So this is officially the last episode before baby comes and we go on break. So just want to say thanks again to our listeners. If you want to do the socials real quick.
Yes, if you want to get in touch with us, please follow us on TikTok is probably the best place to follow us. That we're there at The Daily Record Spin. You can also follow us on Instagram at The Daily Record Spin _podcast, or slide into our email. Email us at The Daily Record Spin podcast at Gmail. Nope. Take two. The Daily Record Spin at gmail.com. And yeah, leave us a comment, send us an email. You can also leave comments on Spotify now. Rate us 5 stars. It really helps us out.
Yeah. Or if you're Phineas, just like all of our videos now.
So good. Phineas liked one of our TikToks, which was crazy.
I'm in heaven. I love that, man.
That is crazy. Yeah. So thank you, Phineas, for the like. And thank you, Rosalia, for the follow.
No way. Really?
Dude, this happened forever ago. I told you about it. Rosalia follows us.
Oh my God. That's so cool.
After Luke's came out, we were just glazing her. And she was like, I'm going to follow these bitches. That's what she did.
Yeah, as is her divine right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. We will see you in a little bit for the next Daily Record Spin.